Thanks everyone for joining Quantum Automation QLite platform. Myself Rahul as architect and technical head for Quantum Automation. And once again we'll go through what is the QLite platform and what about the QLite platform automation capabilities. So this is the slide we'll go through. Parallelly we'll go through the presentation as well. So basically quantum automation works in data center automation, and it do the intelligent automation as a end-to-end automation, even zero touch provisioning. So to begin with, we'll go through the key features of automation platform and how it works. So let's start with the login of the QLite platform. So this is the login page of QLite platform. I will take a login first. Yes, so we can see this is the landing page of QLite platform, and let's go through the key features which quantum automation QLite platform provides. The first and the most important feature is device auto discovery. Let's see how it works. So when we'll give some IP details, it will generate the topology, and the topology which it will generate is this one we have created in Cisco CML, and this will regenerate the topology. Let's give the IPs over here. So we have to give from IP and to IP. We have to give the subnet mask and the credentials. So there are three methods: SNMP, which is mandatory, and CDP or LLDP. I am selecting CDP. We'll fetch this topology, and let's wait for a few seconds to retrieve the topology. As we can see, it has generated topology. So let's compare with the topology which is already there. So we can see, yes, it has created as is of the CML lab topology. So this is one of the feature. So this is via SNMP and CDP. Let's check how to generate this topology via API method. So API discovery is there. So for that we'll go to the CML API details. We'll go in authentication inside, try it out. So this is just creating the key. I'm just giving credentials and I'm executing. Let me see the result. So I can see, yes, the response is there. So it has been successfully executed. I will copy the URL over here. I will paste this URL over here, and the key will copy from here and paste it over the API key portion. So we'll wait for the topology, and this is via API. So we can see there are two topologies created. The name is QA test lab and QA automation lab. The one we have seen, it's a QA automation lab. So yes, it has generated the topology correctly. So why only two topologies is there generated? So we can see over dashboard of CML there are only two topologies. So both has been generated over here. So this is the second method of auto discovery. So we'll go back to the next feature. So let's see what is the next feature. So this is nothing but device inventory discovery. So let's go to this feature. What is this feature? So if I go to device inventory, I can see, yes, I have to enter the details. What it does, it retrieves whole details of the devices which belongs to that IP address. So let me simply copy from here or I will enter the details over here. Let's say 192.168.126.110 from this IP to the 115, let's say, and let's scan it, and it will, in few seconds, it will fetch the details of the list of devices from 110 till 115. So we can see, yes, there are few devices and it has retrieved the list of IPs from 110 to 115. We can download as well, and it will give whole details. If we download, let's say download over here, so we can see it has downloaded, and we'll try to open this one in Excel format as it is in CSV format. So yes, I will format in little bit better format. So we can see over here it has given the details of the devices, what type of device, is it a router or switch, and the OS version, those details it has provided. Okay, so the next feature will come to the presentation again, and let's see what is the next feature it discovers. So it is device reachability. So what does it mean? It's check basically whether the device is reachable. So let's say I will copy the address from here, whether the device 110 is reachable to the other device, or from this device how many devices are reachable. So I am putting the subnet, and let's discover. So I have given some range of 5 to 6 IPs, and let's wait, it will discover which device is reachable to which one. So yes, it has discovered the 4 devices, and it is showing the one, so one device is reachable to all, so it has shown the connectivity as well. So this is also one of the feature which will help to find out whether the device is reachable from one of the device, yes or no. Yep. So let's go to the next feature of QLite platform, which is auto heal and end-to-end automation capabilities. So this is one of the critical and the very important feature of quantum automation will go over here. So auto heal is the feature. So how it works generally, so as it has been shown over presentation, yes, so we'll have ITSM monitoring or configuration tool, which will be the input for the quantum QLite platform, and output, or it will retrieve the device status or the incidents, and it will capture it, and it will execute the playbooks accordingly. So let's see how it works. So I will go back to the platform. So in our case, we are using Nagios as a monitoring tool, and we have kept few devices under monitoring, and how it works we'll check. So we can see in Nagios dashboard, so there are few alarms or incidents on the device which is on 112 and 114 device. So let's see how it auto heals. Right now the incidents has been generated showing the ports are down. So let's go on to the few details. So we have to have a API details of Nagios. So I am going to the help. I'm just trying to find out what is the API details of this Nagios. I will copy this portion as a URL. I will enter over here as a URL. It is asking API key, so we can see the API key is there. So I will copy till this one, and I will paste it over here. I will start generating the API integration over here. So we have to wait for some time till it gets the API details. So it is still in starting mode. We'll hold till it gets successful. Okay, so we can see the 4 incidents we can see, which is the same which are reflecting over Nagios tool, which is a monitoring tool, and how it auto heals. So as we can see, yes, there are the incidents reported. So we have intentionally kept the buttons over there, otherwise it can it is generally directly auto heals whenever some incident turns up. So we have written a playbook over here as we have explained over here. So whenever this incident turned up and the respective playbook will execute and it will cure that incident. So let's check. So if I hit for 114 port number 1, let me execute for 1 and let me check the status as well in Nagios. It will take some time to refresh the screen. So we can see, yes, the port number 4 status has been changed, and we can again try to see. So it was a 4 incidents previously, it is 3 now. Let's try to cure all these 3 remaining incidents by executing. So I executed the first one, I executed this one for 112, and I executed for 112 the third one. So I have executed the script via this automation platform for all 3 incidents right now. So let's go to Nagios and just check what happens over here. So as we can see, all the 3 alarms are cleared over from the Nagios as well. If we check over here, so there is no incident remaining. So this is one of the auto heal capabilities we have built. Let's go to the next feature. So this is the API based automation. So this is also one of the best feature we have developed. Let's check how it works. So if I go to the API automation right now, so as you can see, when it is the feature via which instead of writing the playbook, if we have the readily available APIs, we can simply run the script. So let's say for a simple example, if I want to retrieve the details of the website, yeah, without writing a code, while running the commands I can retrieve. Let's see. So we can see it has generated the HTML code simply by writing one of the curl command, which is API based. Similarly, we can retrieve the details, or we can get the details of list of devices from Cisco ICE or Cisco DNAC, even in Aruba ClearPass or Aruba wireless devices. So wherever APIs are available, it is a best feature. From simply few of the commands we can retrieve the details. Let's say list of access points or list of wireless switches or any other detail which is possible, and this is called as a API based automation feature. And going ahead, we have some other details like playbook repository. We can keep the list of playbooks in this platform itself. So we can create a folder over here, or there are some sample playbooks already been kept. And this section gives the API details of QLite platform. If whenever the integration between the ITSM tool like ServiceNow or Clarity or any other tool as ITSM integration is required, or with the monitoring tool like Nagios or SolarWinds, or any other configuration tools, when API integration is required with the quantum automation QLite platform, we can get the details from here. Now coming to the critical and the main feature, which is the automation script execution. So this is only one of the platform who executes 9 types of playbook extensions, which is considered as a YML, YML.py, .rb, .pl, .sh, .rb, .lua, .groovy, and even via CLI it executes .tf and .java. So all these are possible. We'll go through the demo one by one to understand how it works. So let's go over here and let's go to the job scheduling feature. So here I will select one of the playbook. I will browse, I will check for some scripts. I will first execute the YAML file, which is the Ansible playbook we have written, and let's see if I run from here. So there are multiple options. I am directly executing from here without giving username password. So in this case the username password and the IPs are already embedded. In case if we want to enter it separately, those options are here as a username password and the inventory file. We can list n number of devices over here. So we can see right now the Ansible playbook has been executed successfully. The result, if I want to see what is the playbook, I can go over here, and what is the result, I can go over here. So how much time taken is also represented for, so few seconds, and this is seconds and milliseconds, so 20 seconds and 72 millisecond it executed this playbook. So what is the playbook? The logs we can see as a view log. So this is the outcome of the playbook executed. So it is giving few details. It is like all show commands showing what is the IP address of the devices. So I can see there are 3 routers and 1 switch, which is nothing but this one, this topology, and the details of all these devices ending with 111, 112, 113 and 114 has been retrieved via this playbook. So whole details are present over here as a success. It successfully it has executed. In case if we want to enter the details, what if the list or any specific IP only has to run. So let's see how it works. So I will go back, I will select a playbook, and if I want to execute only for one device. Let's see, I will put the credentials over here, and I have to enter IP over here. Yeah, otherwise if I want to execute as an inventory file, I will select from here. But let's do one thing, let's enter IP. Let me see which playbook I have selected. It's an Ansible playbook inventory. I have entered the username password, and Ansible inventory I have to select, and let's see, let me run it. Let's see what happens over here. So I can see it is executing right now. So we can see it is successful in 39 seconds and 06 milliseconds. Let's see what was the it has ran. So we can see only for one device which we have provided over here, it ran only for one device, which is 113. So it is successful, and it has retrieved the details even for other devices, because we have not only selected 113, as we said, we have selected the inventory of files. Okay, so similarly for all other type of, as we said, we'll go back to the playbooks. So it is having the ability to execute .rb, .sh, .py, all type of playbooks. So if I want to run, let's say any other type of, let's say VM playbook, so it will retrieve some, and it is in YML again. So let's try for some other option. So we'll run the groovy, for example. So let's run, and we'll not select any IP or such, we'll simply run it. Let's see what result it gives. So we can see it is triggered successfully, as well as it is executed within 4 seconds. So we ran some VM details, which is the VM on which this platform is running right now, and we can clearly see the output of the details. The vulnerability check as well has been processed for this VM. Similarly, as I said, we can run for all extensions which has been shown in this list. We can run, for example, a .python file. Let's see, is it a yes? Py is .python file, and we'll execute this playbook. Let's see for the result. So Python file also got executed from the same platform. We can see the success within 4 seconds. Let's see what is the playbook, or what is the result, we'll say. So for few of the devices, so this ran for one of the device 112, yeah, or 113. Okay, let's run one of the other use case as a playbook for to retrieve the website details. So I am selecting one of the playbook, which is website playbook, which is YML file, and I will simply execute, and we'll wait for the result. It will take again some seconds. So as we can see, it is also successfully executed. I will see the result. So what playbook we have written is to retrieve the HTML code or the source code or inspect code of two websites, which is our website contame.ai and one of the other website. So we can clearly see yes, the details has been retrieved in the standard format for both the websites. So we can see over here. So we can list as many ads as sites over here, and we can execute the code for n number of sites. There is no limitation as such. Even in case of the devices also, the playbooks what we write, there is no limitation as such. As much as possible we can execute the code from here. And as we have shown that yes, we can run with inventory, without inventory, or simply entering the IP. So let's say if I select Python code over here and I have to enter the credentials, and I have to select, as it is INV, I understood. So Python inventory file I have to select and I have to execute. We'll wait for the result. So it is processing right now, and let's see. It will take few. Yes, yeah, we can see it is successful right now. We can see the results. So to view the playbook, we can see over here. So the playbook has written in this fashion of Python, and what is the result we can see over here. So it has retrieved the details of 112, 111, 114 and 113, 114 device, which is routers and switches. So how it came, as we have selected the inventory file over here. So we can see, we will go to, let's say, which inventory file. So we can see Python inventory file. So what is this file? If you want to see, we can clearly see that it is having the list of IPs. So 112, 111, 114, 113 and again 114 we have mentioned. So let's see whether it has retrieved similarly. So yes, 112, 111, 114, 113 and again 114. So this way it retrieves the detail. And coming back to the point, as we have mentioned, yes, it executes all listed extension playbooks as listed over here, except the below 4, which is only run via CLI. But via GUI, all these first 9 it executes successfully by entering the inventory file, giving the inventory file, or directly executing or embedding the IP inside. Okay, from here we can see which all automations are possible over here. So we can see it is possible to automate the task which is repetitive and for n number of devices with the methods or the playbook execution I have shown, and which all domains I will say, we can say yes, for routing, switching, security, compute, storage, server, VMware, container, load balancers, DDI as DNS, DHCP and IPM server, for Wi-Fi, for voice gateways, for database, for telecom or ISP providers, for cloud computing as well, for SAP and for any database. So it covers as well as the website, as we have went through the demo. It executes to retrieve the inspect code of the websites as well. So these all the technologies it cover, and this is not just a limitation, any other application oriented automations also QLIT platform does support. Okay, there is one more interesting feature which is scheduling of the job. Let's see how does this happen. So let me select some other playbook. I will say, let's say Lua for this instance. I will just select it, and instead of executing, if I want to schedule to some date, so I will schedule today's date only, but only entering, I can enter the time as right now it's 18, so 06, it's a PM, and I will put as a 36 PM, and I will just schedule. So what changes will happen we can see over here. Once I say a schedule, and even it is having advanced features under which we can have a recurrence of the this execution of the playbook as well. What I mean to say, every week, every day, or once in a month, once in a year, or once quarterly, something that also can be scheduled. But right now for a demonstration purpose, let's schedule it to, which is 2 minutes are remaining. I will schedule, and what happens we can see. I can see right now this task has been generated. So we selected this Lua playbook, and we let's see is it scheduled what time. We can see it is scheduled to the 18:36, which is nothing but the 6:36 p.m. what we have scheduled, and I can see clearly over here that it is showing as a scheduled. So we have to wait for a minute, where once this minute is over, and that I mean to say when 18:36 occurs, this will go into the running and success. So let's wait for a moment where we can see what changes happens and how it got scheduled. As I explained, yes, we have to schedule from here, and the recurrence is there, and we have to wait till the time which it is showing right now. So right now it is 18:35 and we are waiting for 18:36. So let's see what happens when the time turns up as 18:36, and so we can see yes, it is 18:36 right now on the clock, and it is showing the running. And let's see for the result. So we can see yes, it executed successfully, and the record is there on this date, Wednesday so and so PM. We have executed the playbook, the Lua playbook, and the result we can see. Let's see for the result. So we have routed some details of this router or switch, which is 114, and we have retrieved successfully for 114. Yep. If we want to go for user management, so we have the feature as well, where we can see there is a user management over here. If we go over here, we can add or remove the users. If I want to add a user, it is very simple. I can simply add as a Rohidas, and password is, let's say, everything small. Password is Rohidas, and role is as a user. I will create a user. We can see the user has been created successfully. I will go back. I can see yes, Rohidas has been created. If I want to take a login, so in that case I can simply open one more browser, 192 and 18. If I put Rohidas and password Rohidas, I can see I got the login as a user. The change is, we can see yes, here over here as a Rohidas I took a login, over here as a admin login. So the difference is users will not have the API automation base. That is the only change we have kept, because only admin will be able to do the API based automation feature execution. That is a small change. I will log out from here. So user management is also possible via QLite platform. Even we have the license key, those things are also possible. Whenever the license expires of 1 year or 3 year or 5 year, you can get a new license from the company based on the commercials involved, and you can enter those details. Right now if I see the show license data, yes, it is valid from July till December 2025. And how many users are allowed? So 10 users are allowed. So those details are managed via admin login only. For users, as I shown, these details will not be populated. So only admin can manage the users. Okay, so why quantum automation? So this is very interesting question. So we'll repeat what we have discussed so far in short note, that it does auto discovery via SNMP, and with CDP and LLDP. It is having the feature of inventory discovery. It is having the automation scheduling task is possible. It is having the auto heal with zero touch incident capability handling is possible, and handling or healing is possible. It is capable of executing the 9 types of automation, different scripts, as I said, .yml, .yml, .rb, .sh, .ruby, .groovy, .lua, and so many others. And it is having the API based automation capabilities. Apart from that, this is the platform which has developed via containerized technology, and it is very easy to container, I mean it is very easy to deploy the container in the cloud environment of the client or on-premises VMware vSphere environment of the client, which hardly takes two steps are there. First is to download the container, which takes hardly a minute, and the next step is just to install that container. So two commands are required. So command second will take hardly again less than 5 minutes, and within 5 to 10 minutes the whole setup without any touch, what we say as a zero touch configuration is possible. And as the last point, it's a competitive price what we offer. So how we generally works on automation, so few details has been provided. Like first day what we do is a due diligence to understand what are the pain points of the client in their network or in a data center or a telecom operator, ISP or enterprise clients. And then second day we find out the automation possibilities. The day 3 we do solution finalization, and the day 4 we start doing the implementation of the platform or the automation scripts playbook writing along with the deployment of the platform. So now content automation approach towards automation scope, what are our approach. So as I said, we understand the pain points of the client infrastructure environment or a data center or the cloud-based environment. Then we do due diligence, we do the automation case study preparation, which are the possibilities, whether it can be possible to automate or no. That approach we follow. We deploy the platform, and then we start the writing the playbooks, and we have the expertise as well to write the playbooks from the team. And what it gives is what it saves is manual efforts, and ultimately the FT efforts generally we see say up to 30% saving of the FT is possible via automation. And even as it integrates with the other monitoring or configuration or ITSM platforms as well. And it does extreme automation in terms of end-to-end automation. So let's explore automation along with the client requirement. And the good way to begin the journey is to have the QA-Lite platform in client environment, which will, as we said, it's a human error-free end-to-end zero-touch provisioning, FT saving, and we can have a L1, which is a freshers utilization higher than instead of the experience or L3 experience SMEs, and even the auto heal capabilities which we have demonstrated already via platform. And in automation summary, yes, again it's a repetition, we can say yes. So what it offers is the zero touch end-to-end automation, human error free, L1 utilization increase, and overall reduction of FTs or the utilization or 100% utilization of FTs. API integration advantages are there, or API based automation advantages are there, which ultimately we have kept as a go green over here, which symbolize that yes, with this whole exercise of automation, ultimately we save the visits, which is absolutely not required, because we can remotely take a login, we remotely executes the playbooks via the platform, and which heals also. So no FT visit to the site is also required for, let's say, in case of new device provisioning. Absolutely no one is required. Simply if device is already IP enabled or IP has been given, we can remotely take access, and entire device can be configured without a zero touch, what we say, which ultimately saves the carbon emission, and that's why we go for a go green carbon neutral approach. And this section represent who are our partners. So we don't only recommend, I mean, our platform as a QA-Lite, we do the whole study during our RFP, RFI or RFS stage, and we have the existing partners as well, so we can see over screen. So these all are our existing partners. The list is too big and it's growing day by day. And this is very important again. So in terms of platform license and setup, what is the requirement? So we can see yes, to highlight I will say Yes, so we have the three options. So it can be a 10 users license, which is having one admin and 9 members, and it's a 25 member and 49. And what setup requirement for respective license is given over here for the VMs, and what type of VM is recommended, as we have already said. So it is capable having on premises on VMware, vSphere, as well as on cloud. So here I can show you as well. So this is the one of the AWS instance where QLite platform has been deployed, and you can see, yes, it is via containerized application has been deployed over here. And